Hi, I'm Jamie Wilcox. Well, I guess you can call me Jamie Forrester now. My sister recommended you to me, actually. She said that one of her friends was going through something similar last year and that you were able to help her through that. I won't lie, I'm a little nervous. I've never been to therapy before. Right, yes, the reason I'm here. Well, my husband and I are getting a divorce. I don't want to, but he seems to think that there's no other way. We have a 5-year-old son, Sam, and honestly, it's just a lot to handle, so I thought maybe talking to someone would help. So do I just talk about whatever, or how does this work exactly? Just tell the story? From the beginning? Okay. Well, John and I met in college. We were both freshmen at the University of Texas in Austin. We were only a few weeks into the semester when we got grouped together for a project where we had to go around and explore different coffee shops. I think it was a way of allowing the freshmen to get accustomed to the city. I'm not really sure. Anyways, it ended up being just the two of us because the other students in the group decided not to come last minute. And it was really fun. We ended up only going to one coffee shop, and then we spent the rest of the time just walking around campus and talking. It felt like only a few minutes, but when we finally came to a stopping point, it had been 3 hours. Things just kind of took off from there. We were glued at the hip, happy and in love. It happened so quickly, but it didn't feel rushed. It felt right. Like we were meant to be. I know that sounds completely cliche, and you're probably thinking, wow, this chick's crazy, haha. But it really did feel like straight out of the movies, like picnic lunches, stargazing, campfires. I mean, just about every romantic moment in a rom-com you could think of, that was us. Well, John had this globe in his dorm room. It was made out of glass, extremely fragile, and ridiculously intricate. His dad had bought it for him as a graduation gift. Why he decided to bring it to college, I do not know, but that's just how John was. Sentimental type, I mean. He had way too much just stuff, just simply because he was emotionally attached. Anyways, we used to do this stupid thing where we would spin the globe and then just point to a location. And we would then promise each other that we would one day visit or just live in that place. And the first place it ever landed on was New York, hence why we live here now. We landed on so many other places too. Berlin, Jerusalem, so many others. But we never made it to any of those places. He made sure of that. By senior year, everyone knew we would get married eventually, and we were just counting the days until John proposed. And finally he did, and I said yes, and then we got married. And a few months later, we found out I was pregnant with Sam, and that's when things started to go downhill. John started getting distant. He would leave for business 2 or 3 times a month when Sam was 1 or 2. He wouldn't come home for weeks at a time. And then the trips started getting more frequent and longer, and it was almost like he wasn't home at all. And that's when I realized what was going on. John had started an affair with his assistant when Sam was a few months old. When I finally confronted him about it, he blamed me, said I wasn't the same person he met a few years ago. How could I be? I had a child. I was a mother. Obviously, I'm going to be different. As you could say, commitment is not necessarily John's strong suit. Honestly, I'm fine. I am managing just fine, and I don't want to waste your time, so I'm going to go ahead and get up and go. Thank you for your help. Is it normal that I still love him? I mean, I know, I should be upset or angry, but all I want to do is go back to normal. Is that crazy? Right. It's a process. Gotta trust the process. Well, thank you, Anna, for listening. I really appreciate it, and I think I will see you next week.